Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Upstream Up Close, the series where we dive deep into the world of trading, NFTs, Web3, and everything in between. I'm Vanessa. I'm thrilled to have you with us today.
Hey everyone, Amanda here. I'm Upstream's Client Success Manager.
I'm Anastasia, Upstream's Digital Marketing Specialist.
And I'm Fernanda, also a Digital Marketing Specialist at Upstream.
On today's episode, we're putting Upstream head-to-head against traditional trading apps. How is Upstream similar? How is it different? What impact do we think these distinctions could have on capital markets?
Before we get into it, let's remind everyone what Upstream is.
Upstream is a global retail trading app. It's a merge exchange market for users to deposit, buy, and sell stocks and NFTs from U.S. and international companies. Note that U.S. persons may not deposit, buy, or sell securities on Upstream.
Okay, and for those who don't know, what is the current climate for non-U.S. traders to access U.S., OTC, and other international companies?
It's interesting because it's typically quite hard for retail investors outside of the US to purchase listed securities, especially US and Canadian securities, without going through a complex process.
It's true, and not all brokerage firms offer the ability for non-US retail investors to deposit or trade stocks through an app, and those that do may levy additional fees for international traders.
Being in the U.S., we can take that convenience for granted, but on Upstream, we're offering non-U.S. users the ability to deposit or buy company shares directly from Upstream's user-friendly trading app. All they have to do is download the app, complete a light touch KYC process, and fund their account using a variety of payment methods to get started. All of this is done directly on the app.
This is a huge deal and a great way to kick off how Upstream differs from other trading apps. Now, what else makes Upstream different, especially for retail investors or everyday investors that are typically investing on their own savings or disposable income?
Good question. So let's first take a look at how traditional trading apps work for retail investors. These are platforms for users to buy, sell, and manage their investments through brokers. These apps offer windows into exchanges with user-friendly interfaces, market data, and various tools to help retail investors make informed decisions.
That sounds very convenient. Do you know if any investors are giving up anything for this service?
Yes, and that leads us to the first benefit why we think Upstream has over traditional trading apps, which is direct access. Most financial services are controlled by central parties today, whether it's money transfers, asset purchases, and such. You typically must go through an intermediary. This is the same with trading. Retail trading orders are typically executed by a broker-dealer through these trading apps.
To add more color to that, you're not going to CSC or Borsa Italiana and interacting directly with the exchanges to make trades.
But with Upstream, you are getting direct access to the market, a market that is open for 20 hours a day, which means greater trading opportunities and fewer middlemen that may take cuts at investors' returns.
This is important because many platforms promote 0% trading fees, but this doesn't paint the full picture. Stockbrokers are paid by market makers for their clients' order flows. Then market makers simply widen their bid and ask spreads to secretly cover the cost, meaning all retail trade prices are impacted. Critics even argue that it may incentivize brokers to prioritize and direct trades to market makers who offer higher payments rather than focusing on getting the best practice execution for their clients.
Exactly. And while market makers do provide market liquidity, without fully transparent views into pricing, investors could be receiving less favorable prices for their trades.
Yes, and that leads to a second and third key differentiator on Upstream. As a smart contract powered market, Upstream features public on chain order books that transparently display all best bids and offers for everyone to see. When a trade occurs, instead of taking 2 days for trades to settle, they execute peer to peer in real time and settle instantly.
This is a major upgrade to traditional trading apps. Speed and accuracy of data can really impact the decision-making process for investors. So real-time quotes, trades, and settlements promote a fair and honest trading community.
Speaking of fairness, what other market protections are enforced by smart contract technology?
No, short selling is definitely a big one. Conventional financial markets do not offer safeguards against short selling. On Upstream, short selling is inherently not. We'll dive into the importance of this in another episode, but Upstream creates an ecosystem where all transactions are securely recorded and accessible, eliminating any opacity often associated with the traditional financial markets. And through smart contracts and immutable ledgers, Upstream fosters a level playing field for all participants.
Yeah, and what's also unique about Upstream is not just the trust and confidence we instill in the market, but also the trust and confidence we empower investors with to control their own assets.
Can you share more about that?
Yeah, so most trading platforms are custodial, meaning assets are held and the movement is controlled on behalf of the user. This phrase is typically used when talking about blockchain-powered apps, but the concept of giving power back to the individual to manage their assets on their own is part of a wider trend we're seeing in finance. On Upstream, we're non-custodial, meaning investors are empowered to retain direct control of their securities and NFTs in their digital wallets/accounts.
And for our blockchain enthusiasts out there who are curious, we truly are non-custodial, as in we will never know our investors' private keys. Each transaction on Upstream uses biometrics to unlock your private key and sign transactions, keeping your assets and your asset movement safe.
I love that. Do you think that there are any other smart contract specific benefits we should cover?
Yes, in addition to accepting debit, credit, PayPal, and bank payments to trade, Upstream also accepts digital currency in the form of USDC stablecoin.
These include streamlined on and off ramps for both digital currency and USD holders. Plus, all Upstream USD accounts are FDIC insured up to 250,000.
That makes it super convenient and secure for traders to interact. I also don't want to forget to talk about our Web3 shareholder engagement strategies that issuers can take advantage of. Upstream is enabling issuers to turn shareholders into customers and customers into shareholders, all thanks to the power of non-fungible tokens or NFTs.
It's really been exciting to see how our issuers are rewarding shareholders with our digital coupon program. Can you give a brief overview of how that works?
Of course, I've seen firsthand the excitement of shareholders racing to claim and redeem these digital rewards. An Upstream digital coupon is an NFT claimable and redeemable for physical merchandise, products, discounts, or services from an issuer. These are not securities and offer no ownership in the company, dividends, or profits, and do not fall under the Howey test. They are similar to traditional coupons, but just in digital nature. All shareholders of a set record date are entitled to claim one digital coupon. Upon redemption, the Upstream holder will be issued a unique one-time redemption code that is provided to the issuer to then claim their reward.
Shareholders can either redeem the coupon to experience the company's products firsthand or trade it on the Upstream marketplace. And I love this because it doesn't only like raise awareness for the company among a global audience, but also reward shareholders for their support.
Thanks for the overview, guys. Any final thoughts on why everyone should be very interested in Upstream's rise?
Aside from the many reasons above, we really think Upstream is ushering in the future of capital markets, a transparent, accessible, and global trading hub for issuers across the markets to reach digital-first investors.
I would also like to chime in and say that I think Upstream is at the forefront of smart contract technology.
I couldn't agree more. I really like the idea of one trusted place to access genuine companies and investment opportunities on a level playing field.
Well, that all sounds amazing. Upstream is rapidly growing and really expanding our focus to new international issuers and users. We just welcomed our first few issuers at the beginning of this year and are thrilled with how quickly our investor community has grown. This has us really excited for what's in store for Upstream's future.
Thanks, Vanessa. Great episode today. The word of the episode is short selling, one of the many market manipulations Upstream doesn't permit.
Short selling, a speculative investment strategy, revolves around capitalizing on stock or securities price decline. The technique involves borrowing shares from a broker and selling them at a current market price. Later, the investor buys back the shares at a lower price and returns them to the broker, pocketing the difference as profit.
You may have also heard about a similar term called naked shorting. This is an unlawful practice that involves short selling shares that haven't been definitively confirmed to exist. Such unethical maneuvers can unjustly influence the capital formation process for issuers. The repercussions of short selling can be detrimental, causing heightened market volatility, diminished investor trust, and manipulative conduct. If you want to learn more about this topic, check out our two most recent blogs, one on the SEC's recent new ruling surrounding transparency for short selling, and another that was just published last week on the benefits of a market without short selling.
A perfect explanation. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.